The last class we talked about like the graph in order to just like understand the application in the graph, that we can just like use the idea of supply and demand equilibrium in the break-even analysis in this one so the last application that we should know about the graph in this chapter is about the rate of changes for the rate of changes there are many applications that we use in order to understand the rate of changes including in, let's say, in many of the science subjects, we have to understand the rate of changes in order to just like talk about like something like the speed. We know the rate of changes as well, the time. We have to know about that, like the rate of change as well. So in this one, when we talk about the rate of change, it's talk about when we find the rate, it means that we have to find, let's say, some fraction of something in here. If you remember, I talked about like one example last time. Okay, let's see. Here, you can see that this one, for this example, when we talk about this one, we said that, okay, f is linear function such that f1 equals to 5 and fx decreases by 4 units. Decreases by 4 units. For every 3 units increase, this is rate of change as well. But today we will talk about like the way in order to apply the rate of change in the real application, in the real world application. Now let's see for the rate of change here. I begin with just like when we would like to find the rate of change, we see the relationship and the changes between x and y. When x is changed, what will happen to y? So in this one, I write x, sorry. I write x and y on each side of the table here, so that I can compare the difference. I can compare the difference. So let's see. I will try to just give possible value of x so that we can just find the y here. Assume that I have x that is from 2 1 0 -1 and -2 so that it can be scattered. Now let's see when x is 2 y is, can somebody tell me what is the value of y when x is 2? When x is 2, y is
11.
11, that's right. When x is 1, y is 8. When x is 0, y is 5. Right, okay. When x is -1, y is 2. And when x is -2, y is -1. You just substitute the value of x in the equation, sorry, in the function, and then you get the value of y. So in this one, you can see that if you just like want to see, if you want to see the difference of these values, the difference of this value, the rate of change of a linear function, fx equals to mx plus c is in here. If you want to see the rate of change, you can see that in here. We try to find the difference in y over difference in x. This is the rate of change of y with respect of x. We just calculate like this. Or in some subjects like in other math course or in other science courses, we have delta y over delta x, the same thing. That is the delta means a difference. Different in y divided by different in x in here. Suppose I just like pick two values นะครับ for example if I just like consider นะครับ the change in here นะครับ I say that okay what to say from y นะครับ okay if I consider this from 11 นะครับ down to 1 while x is changed from 2 to negative 2 นะครับ if I find delta y it means that I find okay negative 1 นะครับ that is y2 นะครับminus 11 divided by delta x or difference in x นะครับ it's negative 2 minus 2 equals to นะครับ negative 12 over negative 4 equals to 3 นะครับ this is what we call rate of change นะครับ okay so we see that the rate of change of a linear function fx equals to mx plus c is can somebody tell me ครับ what is the dot here the rate of change of a linear function of fx equals to mx plus c is can you give me some notation
M
yes that's right ครับ who answer ครับ
Tara ค่ะ
Tara right okay that's great Tara when we said that the change of linear function fx is m what is m do you remember you just finished the quiz now
the
what is
slope ครับ
slope that's right it's slope right so that means in terms of linear equation นะครับ or linear function when you want to find the rate of change you just find the slope so you get the value okay so before I move on to the next slide do you have any questions about this you know changes in x you know changes in y then you can find slope you can find rate of change so that means นะครับ the slope when we apply it นะครับ we may call it as rate of change it's the same thing นะครับ rate of change represents can be represented by the slope okay right okay when we have this already นะครับ if you don't have any question let me move on to the last slide of this chapter นะครับ in this slide we talk about the smartphone นะครับ we say that okay when you buy a smartphone today for example you say that oh I want to buy a new iPhone 13 นะครับ a new iPhone 13 it's worth 30,000 baht today นะครับ and in the next 2 years it will be worth 18,000 นะครับ in here so in terms of business when you buy something when you buy some assets and when the time goes by oh I'm lagging all right okay then I stop my video is it better now when I turn off my video is it still lagging hello everyone Susan do you hear me clearly
Yeah, it's better now.
okay thanks okay so if I'm lagging นะครับ someone please just like turn on your microphone and tell me straight away นะครับ so that I know what's going on thank you very much นะครับ so it means that you will not see my face because I have to turn off my video otherwise it will be lagging anyway ครับ okay now come back to our iPhone 13 we say that for iPhone 13 when we talk about like purchasing that asset นะครับ when the time goes by asset just like when it gets older and older and older นะครับ the price นะครับ or the worth is like lesser and lesser for example if you buy let's say a car นะครับ today you buy 1 million baht นะครับ in the next 2 years the worth of the car is not 1 million baht anymore it's decreasing นะครับ so we talk about that the decreasement นะครับ of the worth or the values of that assets นะครับ as depreciation or depreciation นะครับ the same thing depreciation in here นะครับ for every business student has to know about this word นะครับ depreciation it means that when the worth or the value of the asset is decreasing นะครับ actually in order to calculate the depreciation we have like various techniques นะครับ one technique that accounting always use is what we call linear equation นะครับ for example when you buy a new computer let's say a new computer firstly you say that today you purchase it for like 100,000 baht let's say and we say that okay the time นะครับ that we use I mean when you use that computer you say that you use it for 5 years after that you have to buy a new one so what does it mean it means that if you divide 100,000 by 5 นะครับ you get 20,000 what does it mean by 20,000 20,000 is the depreciation of that computer per year นะครับ because we say that we use it for 5 years so that means on the second year นะครับ your computer will worth just 80,000 baht only not 100,000 baht anymore นะครับ third year it is 6,000 baht นะครับ and finally when 5 years pass นะครับ you can see that there's no more value left actually it should be 0 baht right so but anyway in terms of accounting they don't just like post the account as 0 baht นะครับ they will say that okay they keep the book value they call book value in order to make this computer to still exist in the system we just put 1 baht as a value นะครับ so that one it means that okay when the depreciation นะครับ we use up นะครับ number of years that we can have for the lifetime of that asset already นะครับ the depreciation will make the worth or the value of that asset to be just 0 baht นะครับ this one if you just like divide the total value by number of or the period of time like this we call it as linear depreciation because you can see that everything can be done straightforwardly it's just like move from 20,000 40,000 60,000 80,000 and 100,000 straightforwardly นะครับ this one it is what we call linear depreciation and you can see that this one if we just like turn it to be the function นะครับ the linear depreciation function in here it is 20,000x while x is number of year right so this is just like we said that okay the worth of the money is equals to 20,000x or the depreciation equals to 20,000x in here นะครับ so that means if you just like do 5 years okay the depreciation will be 100,000 baht นะครับ so you can see that the exponential the exponent x here is just x to the power of 1 only that's why this is the linear function that's why we call it as linear depreciation นะครับ in here now let's talk about this smartphone okay we said that the smartphone is worth 30,000 baht today will be worth 80,000 baht in 2 years okay assuming linear depreciation find the depreciation function for this smartphone นะครับ in here we say that okay we learn that นะครับ the difference นะครับ is like the price นะครับ or the value of year 2 minus the value of year 1 divided by time นะครับ x2 minus time of x1 in here นะครับ if you calculate today's worth is 30,000 right subtracted by นะครับ the worth on the next 2 years is 80,000 divided by 2 minus 0 times x ครับ in here you will get นะครับ 12,000 over 2 times x, it is 6,000 over 2x. I'm sorry, not over 2. It's 6,000x. Okay. So in this one, depreciation function dx นะครับ or somebody may use dx here, while x means number of years. C equals to 6,000x in this case นะครับ in here. So in this one, when you get the depreciation function already, what will the smartphone be worth in the 4 years? So the worth of the smartphone นะครับ is 30,000 นะครับ. That is the original value, right? Subtracted by D4 นะครับ. That is depreciation in the next 4 years. Is the worth of the smartphone in the next 4 years. It is 30,000 multiplied by 6,000 times 4. Equals to 30,000 subtracted by 24,000 equals to 6,000 baht left. Not in the next, in 4 years, sorry. Okay. At what rate is the smartphone depreciating, everyone? So I want you to calculate the rate of depreciating by yourself นะครับ Tara and Susan said that the rate นะครับ is 6,000. Okay, times up นะครับ everyone. Now นะครับ this one, as I told you, is super easy. If you remember from the depreciation function, okay, dx equals to นะครับ 6,000x from linear function y equals to mx plus c, where m is the slope and m is rate. Then the rate is 6,000. Okay, so dx equals to 6,000x plus 0 นะครับ. So that's why 6,000 is the slope นะครับ. Then the rate is 6,000. For max Paramat นะครับ, you said 20% per year or 6,000 per year. This one is the rate in terms of business นะครับ but in terms of math, you just like state the answer like 6,000 นะครับ. That is the rate. We don't have the unit of the rate here, so it's 6,000 ครับ. Okay, so and if you say that, okay, it's 20%, it might be because you have like 6,000 divided by 30,000 นะครับ. Then you get 20%นะครับ, or 0.2. So okay, this is the rate ครับ. So any questions ครับ anyone for this one? 6,000 here. Sorry, I couldn't write here. 6,000. Okay. Okay. So if you don't have any questions นะครับ that's all for this module นะครับ. That's all for this module. We are going to begin the next module a little bit นะครับ before we finish the class today นะครับ right okay then นะครับ I finish this slide first so that I can continue on the next slide have just one below so anyone who haven't downloaded the slide from Canvas นะครับ you can download now from chapter 5 นะครับ just one below in chapter 5 นะครับ we talk about the system of equation we talk about system of equation what does it mean by system of equation for system of equation นะครับ it is the group นะครับ in this one it said collection of two or more linear equations นะครับ when we talk about system of linear equations นะครับ it means group or collection of two or more linear equations that appear together นะครับ with more than one unknown or more than one variable นะครับ you may have two to three to four unknowns นะครับ in those system of equations or you have just like two unknowns or two variables for that system of linear equation นะครับ in this example นะครับ in this example you can see that if we are talking about นะครับ this system of equation a11x plus a12y equals to b1 นะครับ this is one equation the other equation we have a21x plus a22y equals to b2 นะครับ so this one นะครับ A11, A12, A21 and A22 they are constant นะครับ B1 and B2 they are constant too so in this case we have just two variables นะครับ or two unknowns there are x and y only นะครับ we try to use this system of equations to help solving value of x and value of y นะครับ by having many techniques that I'll talk about it next on while the next example นะครับ in the green lines they are three equations นะครับ in this system we have a11x plus a12z plus a12y plus a13z equals to b1 นะครับ that is the first equation second one we have a21x plus a22y plus a23z equals to b2 นะครับ second equation and the third equation we have a21x plus a22y plus a33z equals to b3 นะครับ while a and b they are constant นะครับ then we have x y and z that are unknown นะครับ three unknowns or three variables in this system of linear equations นะครับ now we know already that okay if they are appearing of the series or group of equations นะครับ with like two or more variables นะครับ we call them as system of linear equation so when you see the word system of equations or system of linear equations like this we will apply the techniques in order to solve this system of linear equations นะครับ that we will learn together now okay now let's see นะครับ for the linear equation here นะครับ another keyword นะครับ another term that you have to understand นะครับ you have to know is what we call solution set นะครับ you have to know about solution set when we talk about the solution set นะครับ solution set of system consists of all solutions นะครับ to solve system means you have to find the solution sets a system นะครับ is inconsistent if there is no solution that means if you solve for x and you solve for y and you don't have any solution for x and y at all it means that the system is inconsistent นะครับ when we talk about the system นะครับ if a system is consistent if there is at least one solution นะครับ if there is at least one solution it's independent if it has exactly one solution or unique solution นะครับ and we call it as it's it's dependent if it has an infinite number of solutions. For example, if that value for x is infinity, something like that, that is dependent นะครับ okay so that means in the case that we have parallel นะครับ that means the number of solution is 0, you can't find it, so the system is inconsistent. If you have the line นะครับ that are intersect นะครับ between those two equations that you have got นะครับ you get like one exact solution for sure in one point, that is the coordinate value in there, so the system is consistent and independent. But if you have line that is coincide นะครับ line that is coincide นะครับ that means the line that lie upon each other นะครับ this one is line coincide. Okay, this is what we call coincide lines นะครับ this one you can see that the answer for x and y in here นะครับ there are many นะครับ it's infinitely many นะครับ so the system here is what we call consistent and dependent นะครับ because these values go together everywhere นะครับ they are coincide นะครับ something like that. While parallel it means that two lines are like this นะครับ with the same slope, but they have they appear in different points, something like that. Okay, so when we talk about the graphing, in here, see. In order to solve the system of equation, we have many techniques that I told you before. We have many techniques to solve the system of equation. The first technique that we have that we may use is what we call graphing. So when we do the graphing, first case, two lines intersect at one point. Two lines intersect at one point. If you have two lines, and then they intersect at one point like this. This one, you have exactly just one solution only, that is this point. That is the solution of x and y, let's say. But if you say that no, when I just like do the graphing, I have two lines. Sorry, I have two lines that are parallel. That are parallel. Two lines that are parallel like this have no solutions because you will never see any just like coordinate that just like cut across these two lines. But if you have two lines that are identical or the word that I used before that was coincide like this, in here you can see that blue line and red lines, they are identical. This one, number of solutions are infinite, many solutions. So somebody may just like use the graphing in order to just like do this one. Okay, now let's see. I just like show you with the graphing way in order to solve this problem. Okay, so the first example, if you want to solve 2x plus 3y equals to 6 and 2x plus y equals to -2 this system of linear equation appear as like two equations like this. The easiest way is that you just like plot the graph from this solution, from this equation. The easiest way in order to do is that you assume a value of either x or y to find y or x of each equation, or in this one I may just like use y-intercept and x-intercept to help so that it will be easy. so for the first equation for the first equation here นะครับ I say that okay for the y-intercept นะครับ x equals to 0 นะครับ then y equals to when x equals to 0 y equals to what ครับ สัสิทธิ์ when x is 0 y equals to maybe he is not
yeah,
yes สัสิทธิ์ what is your answer first equation when x equals to 0 y equals to
2 ครับ
2 that's right and y equals to 0 x equals to what ครับ
2 นะ
hmm?
เอ้ย
when y
3
is
ครับ
0
3
x equals to 3 ครับ okay now move on to the next equation นะครับ when x equals to 0 y equals to นัทมน
negative 2 ค่ะ
negative 2 that's right ครับ and when when y equals to 0 x equals to what ครับ
negative 1 ค่ะ
negative 1 that's correct so we can find the coordinate นะครับ for this one so the first one we get 0 2 and 3 0นะครับ for the first line and the second line we have นะครับ 0 negative 2 and negative 1 0นะครับ from here we just plot the graph okay Okay, just plot the first line first. 0 2 and 3 0 นะครับ and then we just draw the line okay and for the second line นะครับ 0 2 and negative 1 0 so you can see that from this graphing นะครับ there is one spot นะครับ or one point that these two equations intersect to each other นะครับ in this one hang on I think I did something wrong no sorry this is the blue line is wrong I'm sorry ครับ just do the wrong one for blue line it's 0 negative 2 it's here and negative 1 0 okay. So that means in here นะครับ you see a point นะครับ that these two equations นะครับ graph just intersect to each other then this is like the answer นะครับ for the solution in here something like that นะครับ because my graphing is not precise my chart นะครับ or my drawing is not precise so that's why you can see just like the estimate value only นะครับ for this one okay right all right นะครับ so after we have this one the next one we do the same thing นะครับ in order to just like do to solve the problem in here นะครับ so for the next For the next one we do the same thing นะครับ okay for the second system นะครับ of equation you can see that when we have 2x plus y equals to 3 นะครับ when x equals to 0 นะครับ y equals to 3 when y equals to 0 x equals to 3 over 2 right okay so for the second equation นะครับ when x equals to 0 y equals to 3 นะครับ and when y equals to 0 นะครับ x equals to 3 over 2 ครับ you can see that in here okay if you just like try to do the graphingนะครับ if you try to do the graphing okay from the first equation first okay we have 0 3 3 over 2 and 0 นะครับ and for the second equation นะครับ we have 0 3 and 3 over 2 and 0 นะครับ for the first graph นะครับ in red color 0 3 is here นะครับ 0 3 is here 3 over 2 and 0 is hereนะครับ this is my graph for the second line นะครับ second equation the first one is 0 3 just like did something wrong 0 3 is here yeah, 0 3 okay that's correct already I'm sorry ครับ I just like put the wrong side okay the next one นะครับ in blue color the first point is 0 3 as well it's here second one นะครับ the second point is 3 over 2 0 in here you can see that for the blue line นะครับ for the blue line is the coincide line นะครับ with the red line here so there are multiple answers นะครับ or infinite answer here so the these for this system of equation นะครับ it is like infinitely many solutions here นะครับ this one is consistent and dependent นะครับ for the solution for the system here นะครับ okay right so this is the first technique that we use in order to solve นะครับ in order to solve the solution for the system of equations นะครับ all right up to this point do you have any questions ครับ anyone so if you don't have any questions นะครับ on the next class we are going to continue on the next technique in order to solve the system of equation นะครับ and also นะครับ the what to say the makeup class will be on next week นะครับ the date and the time I will just like type it in the chat box นะครับ let me just like finalize date and time for you again before I just like type it in the chat box sorry not chat box I'm sorry line our line group นะครับ and also I will just like post it on Sky you can check on Sky system too นะครับ okay right and by the way นะครับ for your midterm score นะครับ I will announce it on our canvas นะครับ I think it should be by tomorrow ครับ it will be posted on our canvas